Today, I'm reporting to you on one of the most important concepts for human health, and I'm calling this recording Probiotics, the foundation of your health, why informed choices matter. And this is a very important topic. We have $4.3 trillion that we're spending on healthcare, 80% on chronic disease. We have multitude of gurus all talking about gut health, and unfortunately, none of those gurus really have the experience of even a decade, let alone 56 years as I have. In 1982, I introduced the category of probiotics for human health. Probiotics was something used in animal husbandry for raising animals for profits. And I figured if people were spending money on beneficial bacteria for their animals that they raise for profit, why shouldn't human beings be investing in the same category to make sure that they maximize their health? And I have learned in the last 56 years that we are a hybrid of microbes and human cells. We have about 50 trillion human cells, about 100 trillion microbes just lining the 27 feet of our GI tract. On top of that, we have microbes on our skin, in our brain, in our reproductive organs, inside of our bloodstream. Everywhere in the body, the microbes are there. So we better learn how to create that optimal balance for longevity, for health, for better thinking, for a better mood, for more beautiful skin, for a healthier body. That all matters. So let's start in the beginning. In the beginning, when nobody really knew anything about probiotics, most people were struggling because the science required to make a true probiotic is like rocket science. So people were ready to get into the field because they saw a huge economic opportunity. So as a responsible member of the health food industry in several associations, I was asked to come up with a probiotic labeling standard in 1989, which was voted on by thousands of members of the National Nutritional Foods Association and accepted my labeling standard as the criteria which all so-called manufacturers of probiotics needed to follow. Unfortunately for me, I didn't realize that this whole labeling standard business was just really to impress the outside world. And all the people that wanted to get into this field found contract manufacturers that figure out a way to produce a very complex product in order to make money for all these people who were in the business of creating private labels for probiotic products. So here's some of the basics that you need to understand. Microbes are by nature aggressive, and they don't tolerate other microorganisms. They are engaged in competitive exclusion. In other words, very few of them get along together, especially if they need to dominate an area in your body or in the outside world. So inside your body, it is most important to remember that safety is number one. So the only safe microorganisms that I have found in my 56 years of doing research and reading thousands of articles and dealing with thousands of people who have come to me for help is from the Lactobacillus genus and the Bifidobacteria genus. So don't worry if you don't remember this. I'm here to explain it to you. The reason this is important because these two genera is the plural for genus, are the ones that evolved with Homo sapiens, and they're species inside this genera that are completely safe for human being consumption and for human health, period. You can't use designer organisms to treat symptoms because that comes from the big pharma concept of treating symptoms and not giving the body the tools to heal itself. So what was the thing that I introduced that revolutionized this whole field? I studied these organisms for the 56 years I've been involved in this industry. And when I introduced the first probiotic to the world in 1982, it was a super strain of Lactobacillus acidophilus. And I still use that super strain because I have found nothing else in the microbial world that has a safety record, that has been in the literature for 100 years and has produced continuous results for people who have made it and given it to the end user to benefit their health. Now, acidophilus has well over 10,000 research articles, clinical trials, and scientific articles written about its safety and efficacy. The big question is that you have to meet the requirements of the Lactobacillus acidophilus or any bacteria that you want to use as a probiotic in order for it to be safe and effective. If you don't meet their criteria for growing and for stabilization, you will be wasting money. And most people do not want to go into the hard work that is necessary to produce the right probiotic bacteria, to make sure that it's safe and to make sure that it's effective and that it survives manufacturing, storage, shipping, most importantly, stomach acid and bile. If the product doesn't meet all of those 5 criteria, it's no good. It's not going to do you any good. So acidophilus not only is important for our small intestinal health to help digestion, reduce gas, bloating, make sure that the food and vitamins are absorbed by our body at an optimal rate. It also has an effect on our moods by helping the body produce the feel-good chemicals, serotonin and dopamine. It has a beautiful effect on your skin because the skin will be radiant if the function in your intestinal tract is optimized. So you don't need to buy 20 different products. The L-acidophilus found in our product called Megadophilus and Healthy Trinity is completely safe for every member of the family and does all of those things that I told you. It optimizes the function in your small intestine, eliminates bloating or gas, helps absorb the nutrients that your body needs. It's great for female reproductive organs and male reproductive organs. It's great as an energy boost. It helps with clearer thinking. It helps with beautiful skin. So you see, I chose an organism that does all these things for you, so you don't have to buy 5 or 6 products for each one of the things you want to achieve, because once you fix the habitat in your small intestine with the L-acidophilus, it's going to start taking care of the rest of your body. And so you can feel beautiful, energetic, and smart. So after I introduced the first probiotic product in 1982, the retail name is Megadophilus, and you might remember it. It is still unique. There's no other product like it, even though it's been on the market for so long. Many people have tried to imitate it, but trust me, there's nothing like it. And then I was fortunate enough to meet the foremost researchers in the area of bifidobacteria and realized that bifidobacteria are the most important probiotic bacteria for the large intestine. Now, the large intestine is where your absorption and digestion is finalized, and waste matter needs to be removed effectively so that your body is not reabsorbing the toxins, which is what is found in the waste matter. So it also takes the burden off your liver, which is burdened with reducing the toxins if they're not evacuated through your feces. So bifidobacteria is the most important bacteria for the large intestine, and acidophilus is the most important bacteria for your small intestine. Now, in addition to that, I introduced a third bacteria. It's one of the hero bacteria found in yogurt. And the reason most people don't have it, even if they claim they have it, is because it's an extremely difficult organism to grow in greater concentration so it can deliver its incredible health benefits. It was first discovered at the turn of the 20th century by a famous Russian researcher by the name of Ilya Mechnikov, who was a colleague of Louis Pasteur in the Louis Pasteur Institute in Paris. He studied the long-lived Bulgarians and found that because of their consumption of Bulgarian-style yogurt that uses fresh starter cultures at each batch, they found that these people lived long, were healthy, didn't have nearly any sickness like Western civilizations have, and they peacefully died in their sleep. So his theory was that the reason these people were so healthy and long-lived is because this bacteria, Lactobacillus bulgaricus, was an effective eliminator of toxins in the body and a tremendous stimulate to healthy immune function. So I decided to add that third bacteria. And by the way, the Lactobacillus bulgaricus is one of the only bacteria that can pre-digest carbohydrates and protein for itself and for you, the human host. So that three bacteria I have available in something called the Healthy Start System, and they're all grown individually at an optimal function. So all of their natural fermentation end products they make for their own health and survival are then shared with the human host. It's extremely expensive for me to do that because freeze drying the bacteria together with its fermentation end products takes a lot of money. And 99% of the so-called probiotic products out there do not have this intrinsic supernatant. They're trying to copy me by saying they have something called postbiotics or heat-killed cells. But the technology that I use is still unique because I allow the bacteria to produce these beneficial byproducts for itself and for the human host at its own level, at its own design, so that whatever it produces is optimal, not only for itself, but for the human host. So the three separate bottles that come in the Healthy Start System, which you see here right behind me, can be taken either in capsule form or in powders. You can choose to take a half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of each powder, put it in a clean glass, and then add filtered lukewarm or unchilled water, 4 to 8 ounces, depending on your desire, and drink that right before meals every day to get you started on having a healthy and happy body. Then I additionally developed all those three bacteria in one product called the Healthy Trinity. Now, Healthy Trinity is unique because it takes those same three bacteria that are most healthy for Homo sapiens and evolved with us from our very beginning, because in the Healthy Trinity, these bacteria are kept alive and safe in an oil matrix delivery system. Now, the oil matrix delivery system will guarantee survival of these three bacteria through very harsh stomach acid for well over an hour in the low pH of 1.8. Nobody in the world has this technology, nor can deliver three organisms completely safe and live and healthy to the small intestine like the Healthy Trinity. And we are one of the few companies that tell people you should use a layering system. You should use the Healthy Trinity and you should use our Healthy Start System. If you don't want to use them together, that's your choice. They'll still deliver more effect and more positive changes in your life than any other probiotic on the market. But if you decide to use both of them, then you're going to have a phenomenal success rate of helping your body stay healthy, happy, functional, both mentally, physically, beautiful skin, and beautiful thoughts. So these products were designed to be used by the entire family, from children to adults to seniors. You do not have to buy any extra product for your family members. These are the three, as I said, that evolved with Homo sapiens and deal with everything, every issue you may have, because your digestive tract is the cause or of every health every health aspect that you might have, or every disease state is found in that GI tract. So you have to make the decision. Do I use a product that will deliver results to me every day and will give me phenomenal results and has been tested by millions of people? In fact, we've sold over 10 million bottles of the Healthy Trinity worldwide. And people still, 80% of our customers, once they get on the Healthy Trinity or the Healthy Start System, say nothing else has helped them as much as these products, and they stay on them forever. Now, having explained this to you, I was also the first one in the United States to introduce a very important bacteria called a Bifidobacteria infantis. This is found in our LifeStart products. Now, LifeStart comes in 3 different formulations. Why? Because this bacteria requires special growth considerations in order to have the most beneficial effect on the human host. It comes in dairy, cow dairy milk product. It comes in goat milk, and it comes in organic rice. Now, the reason I chose the milk products is not to antagonize the human host. You have to choose the ingredients that the probiotic organisms like the most. Otherwise, they won't produce the most beneficial results for you. So if you are a pregnant woman, a nursing mother, or you have an infant that was not vaginally delivered, you need to be giving this infant a daily dose of one of the three formulations of Life Start. It is the bacteria that is the most important for human health. And we have found through research that only 7% of the mothers in North America are able to transfer this essential bacterium to their newborn infants, whether they're vaginally delivered or C-section, and even if they're breastfed. It is a huge problem and needs to be addressed for us to get back to healthy children and healthy lives. And we are the first ones to have introduced this organism, and we know this organism works in the delivery systems that we give you and the options to produce healthy infants and healthy individuals. And again, all 4 bacteria products that Natren produces are safe and effective for every member of the family. You need not buy special things. They will help you with all of your body functions, including your reproductive functions. So having said this, why did I stick to only these 4 bacteria? The reason these so-called manufacturers use multiple strains where they have 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 microorganisms is to allow them to make endless formulations without any scientific backup. Now, why do I say that? If you remember, the normal state of bacteria is antagonism. They're mutually antagonistic to each other and do not tolerate anybody else in their territory because they want to dominate. So what happens now? When you put these bacteria together and they're allowed to touch each other in a capsule or in a bottle, they will try to eliminate each other because they're not synergistic, they're not symbiotic, they don't want to play together. So when you have this kind of product, you have no idea what your results will be because you don't know what's alive at the moment that you're taking it, especially if it's been exposed to shelf-stable and quiet conditions, which means a warehouse that's not even air-conditioned, cold and hot temperatures that this product is exposed to. So you have a product that's virtually, the cells are stressed. You don't know which the dominant bacteria is, and you don't know what to expect as a health as a health aspect of taking this bacteria product. So I will be talking about this more at length because we are at a crossroads. We have so many chronically ill people, we cannot afford to be using products, especially probiotics, which are the foundation of everyone's health, that do not meet our criteria for safety and health. And next time I'll be talking about, again, soil bacteria and why yeast are really not true probiotics, because I have been in this field for 56 years, and we must consider safety first and efficacy second. So remember that the more knowledge you have about probiotics, this is the future of medicine. This is the future of natural health. This is what's going to get us to the next level so that we can get rid of all these chronic diseases and start giving body the tools to heal itself. It's very much capable of healing itself. So if you have any questions for my next visit with you, please submit your questions. I will answer all of your questions because I realize I have to begin my education again because most people are ill-informed and they're not getting the true, safe, and effective promises that each probiotic product should deliver to you. Until next week, give me your questions and we'll cover some more territory.